don't want to assume that anybody is out there on Twitter. So let me read it to you word for word. This was about, about 9:50, 9:55 this morning. Poor Bonte and Joe. Sat there it was funny. Actually, what happened, you'll love this. So they're sitting there going, well, what about Wiggins? And maybe Wiggins. And then, Wiggins. There could be a Wiggins, and we're not sure about Wiggins. And then I pulled up, where was I going? I wasn't dropping my boy at school. Oh, I must have been
a grocery run.
I was coming back from the dog park.
Oh, wow.
That's what it was. Dog park run. And we go out there. It wasn't just Penny. Had Atlas, too. The lovely Christie's dog was out there.
Nice.
A little rough and tumble at the dog park today.
All right.
Yeah, there was some, I think people knew that Wiggins was about to come back.
Little Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark going on?
Yeah, a little bit. And the dogs, they got up in each other's faces. Bark? And I was like, you're female dogs. You act nice around one another.
Exactly.
Oh, my gosh. Ridiculous.
You're not wrong about the gender angle, by the way. I didn't want to demean that.
It's both. Yeah. But anyway, so get in the car, coming back with the dogs. And as I hear them say that, and then I take one of the dog. I go drop Christy's dog at her place. I get back in the car, and both of the guys are like, "Oh my gosh, we were just talking about Wiggins. I can't believe this happened." And I'm like, "What happened?" Well, here's what happened. It was a tweet from Adrian Wojnarowski that just was, quite frankly, the one that we've been waiting for. And the sources, we still, by the way, have the blue checks, so I'm going to assume that this is real.
Yeah.
But here it comes with regard to the imminent return of Andrew Wiggins. Golden State Warriors All-Star forward Andrew Wiggins is nearing a return to the team and is expected to be back early this week. Wiggins has missed 21 games, attending to a family matter. Huge boost for the defending champions and 6th seed in the West. I want you to hear those exact words because I think in a story like this, the way it's written matters. So what do you make of that? Nearing a return and expected back early this week.
Then he will be back this week. He's not coming back tomorrow, and then he'll be back probably for Friday's game. At the very least, he'll be back for Sunday's game. He's back. Wiggins is back. And we heard the Shams report, Shams Charania, saying that it was his father who reportedly had, health issues, which is why he was out. We don't know if that's absolutely the reason why he was gone, but what we do know is this. Andrew Wiggins is coming back, and he's in shape enough to where all he needs is a day or two. They play tomorrow, and then they're going to have a practice Wednesday and or Thursday. He'll play in that practice, I would imagine. Andrew Wiggins is coming back.
So here's the thing, and I said this a second ago. I'll say it again. This is just me personally. I got no interest in the conversation around where Andrew Wiggins and where it's been. I have all the interest in the world in terms of Andrew Wiggins and where it's going. So let's all fill in this blank together, and we are wide open for your calls at 888-957-9570. Fill in the blank. Andrew Wiggins' return to the Golden State Warriors means what? How would you answer that?
It means they are a Western Conference Finals team for sure, and they very rightly should be. They're one of the favorites now in the West based on the fact that they've got everybody back. That's where this team is. No doubt. They're alive. They're a live team. No matter who they play, if it's Sacramento, if it's even Phoenix, Andrew Wiggins is the huge X factor for this team.
I wish I could answer this with a facial expression rather than words. Facial expressions don't work well on the radio.
Nah.
Unless you're joining us on YouTube or Twitch. Good afternoon to each and every one of you. We appreciate you being there. Your comments are being read. Comcast Business Text Line, same thing. And yes, wide open for your calls at 888-957-9570. But let me just describe the facial expression to you if I can. And that way you can understand how I would answer that question. Andrew Wiggins' return to the Warriors means blank. Fill in the blank. Here's my facial expression. I'll give it to you, Dibs, and then we'll describe it. Here we go. Ready? All right, here it is.
It's contentment, satisfaction.
It's a smile.
Quiet confidence.
It's a smile with a gasp and a head shake. And the head shake is not a bad head shake. It's one of those, will you just look at these guys?
Yeah. Are they adorable?
No, they're not adorable. No. They're actually
ferocious.
To the rest of the NBA, they're exactly the opposite. They are cockroaches. They are not going to go away. And I made the joke to you. This was walking back to the car after the Warriors defeated the Philadelphia 76ers a couple of Friday nights ago. And Christy goes, man, watch. Here's what I think happened. Draymond got everybody together for a preseason barbecue, and they sat down like Hollywood script writers. And they're like, here's the deal. Everybody draw straws. Whoever gets the shortest straw is the one who's going to get the punch in the face in training camp. Oh, Jordan, gosh, sorry. Low straw, you're going to have to deal with this. You're taking a haymaker in training camp. And then we're going to have little nagging injuries. We're going to have some poor play. Clay, why don't you start off the season playing like crap? That would be great. How about if you miss all of your shots? And then Wiseman, how about if you come in and you're just terrible? Like you're the big future, you're the hope. You're going to actually end up being terrible. Okay, Steph, couple of nagging injuries. Draymond, couple of nagging injuries. Gosh, what else could we do? How about if one of our really big names just goes AWOL? Poof, gone. Right at the most dramatic point of the season. And we'll make it look the whole year like we might miss the playoffs. But we won't miss the playoffs. We'll be there in the end. It literally feels like what she was joking about is real. Of course the tweet came today. Why? Because it's the last week of the season.
Well, he's now ready to come back.
And the playoffs are here.
You're talking like WWE right now is what you're talking about.
It's not that, but it feels
is the
that
NBA
way.
the same as the WWE, Mark?
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, it's not. And I'm not minimizing whatever it was Andrew has been through. That's not my point. However, even I am cynical enough to realize
even you
that Andrew is. When is he coming back? When is he coming back?
This
Dibs?
week, not Tuesday, probably Friday.
For the playoffs.
Sure.
That's when he's coming back. So,
well, why wouldn't he come back for the playoffs? And whatever he's gone through, he understands, they understand what the regular season is. The regular season is a ownership money grab. It's what it is. That's all it is. Because unless you're terrible, then the regular season doesn't mean anything. And look at the NBA right now in the standings. Of the, 30 teams in the association, 20 teams will at least make the play-in. And of those 20 going for at least the play-in, there's like 23 or 24 that have a chance for it. The other 6 don't care. But the rest of the league is like, we'll just subsist. We'll be here. We'll be around. And come April, we'll either be in or we'll be out.
So many Warrior fans hate load management. We hate the way that they go about business in the NBA. I wonder if y'all understand. The Golden State Warriors are the biggest offender in the entire league. They're the biggest offender in the entire league. Not just load management. Forget that for a second. But the bigger picture is what you're saying.
They're light years ahead.
They actually are.
And the Lakers are close, by the way.
You're right. They're a close second. Oh, isn't it fascinating that here they come? And they might.
I told you not to sleep on the Lakers.
I'm still asleep on it. Not going anywhere. But
they might be the 5 seed.
They might.
Man,
the Lakers and the Golden State Warriors are sitting there toying with our emotions for 5 months. And am I overstating it? Yes, because they actually do care and they do want to win these games. And I think they've lost some that they didn't think they would win. But have you noticed one thing about both of their teams and especially their stars? They don't ever look stressed. I mean, Draymond sometimes looks stressed, but that's Draymond. That's just the way he rolls.
Well, he got stressed, and then they got angry, and then they won a big game. He got stressed because they were down 17 at the half.
Right.
And he knew that was a game they had to have.
But even within games, I've decided that this characteristic is a great one, but it also is a window into the way the Warriors operate. No, while the Warriors lose always on the road, and they always win at home, and boy, they've choked some away in the final minutes. Those are all true. Do you want to know what characteristic grabs my attention? No team in the NBA, when they fall down by 20, goes, okay, fine, let's go win. Like, now we'll try. And they come out and they do. That tells you that whether it's true or not, there is something inside the Warriors that would suggest they really don't believe the rest of the league is on their level. They really don't. They may not be right, but they think that they can just go, click, all right, let's go win the game. Even in the last minute and a half last night, like, all right, let's try to win it. Oh my gosh, they might win it.
That was crazy last night.
Right, it was crazy, but they've done that so many
Klay
times.
had 2 looks to win it.
So what does that look like when the playoffs actually start? When in theory, their focus would start before halfway through the third quarter.
You would hope, but the way it looks is it's harder to do that then than it is now. And if you face Sacramento, maybe it's not as hard to do then as it would be if you took on Phoenix or Memphis or Denver, because Denver's a team that's had your number. Even they didn't have Jokic, and they still were able to control you for the most part from the second quarter on, and the Warriors lost a game that they very much should have and could have won. So can this team continue to throw that switch? I don't know, but to do it 16 times in the playoffs as a 6 seed or a 5 seed or wherever they wind up, it's tougher.
Yeah, but my mind's not even going there yet. And I think that that's just Warrior fan. Like, we're so used to all of these championships and deep runs and everything. My mind's not on 16 wins. It's on 4. It's on 4. Like,
it might be on 1.
Well,
might be in the play-in.
You might. It might. It might. I doubt it, but it might. I still think that this is going exactly the way that we thought it was going to go. It's going exactly the way we thought it was going to go. They're going to finish 43-39. They're going to win tomorrow night. They're going to win in Portland. Maybe they win 44 if something funky happens in Sacramento, but I have a feeling the Kings are going to turn that into their own mini regular season Super Bowl. So we'll see. We'll see, but I think the Warriors are going to be the 6th seed, and then you're going to get into the playoffs and probably see a little bit of a different group. That is, I think, a rational feel, but I'm not thinking 16. I've told you all year I'm here for whatever wackadoodle journey this is. So I'll go series by series in this one.
But you better get 4, and if you have Wiggins back, you need to get 8. And quite frankly, you should be in a position to where you can get 12 postseason wins. I think you got Wiggins back, rested. You've got championship pedigree. You've got Kuminga as a real one. You got DDV as a legitimate bench weapon, and you've got Jordan Poole, who, by the way, if we were in need of a closer, he's not that. Hey, Festus, I know you're out there listening, but you can call in and apologize if you want. 888-957-9570. Jordan Poole was not in the closing lineup against Denver. How about that?
Well,
how about that, Fezzi?
I wouldn't use that as your point, though.
No, I just did.
Yeah, but
I just did.
But you made it.
You make your points, I'll make mine.
No, but it makes it sound like he played poorly yesterday, and
he was not in the closing lineup. That was my point.
But I think Festus,
the point that you took for your question for Festus,
right? But that I felt like your point at that time was. Because you didn't like the way Jordan was playing when he is in at the end of games.
My point was that they don't like the way he's playing. You're down by 10.
Right.
He's a scorer, he still couldn't be in the closing lineup.
And I think he should have been. Like, that would have been my point today.
They closed without him.
But Steve, how about a little Jordan Poole?
They had a chance to win the game without him. I don't think that you can look at Steve Kerr and say anything other than great job with the rotation.
He had... 1 less field goal than Steph Curry. He had 2 less field goals than Klay Thompson, and then he had fewer than half their attempts.
Yet he wasn't on the floor in the close.
Right.
Why?
I don't know.
It's because he can't defend.
Because he should have been. Well, he should have been. Who was defending? No one was defending last night.
They only gave up $112.
Yeah,
and you could say he should have been, but you had a Hall of Famer with an open three-pointer to give you the lead under 10 seconds left.
Yeah.
That's not a Steve Kerr issue.
No, well, no. I would just have it. It's not an issue as much as it's a question. I mean, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson went 7 for 30 from three-point range last
17
night.
for 56 from the floor.
They were brutal. It was a brutal night shooting the basketball.
And still they had a chance to win it.
Still had a chance
without Jordan Poole.
Yeah.